Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Raider Nation Jasin here once more. So we got a press conference today. We're gonna jump right into it. We got the Geno Smith press conference. Like I said, I was at work today. I just got out of class, so I'm a little late. I know everybody's probably already talked about it, but I'm gonna break it down and talk about, kind of what I got. I've seen most of it, you know what I mean? I'm gonna kind of catch up a little bit more, but what I did see, I definitely, want to talk about. So reaction show, if you will. But hope everybody's doing good. Like I said, I will not waste no time, so we will get into it. But a lot of good stuff, and I know everyone probably listened to the beginning and everything like that. But the juice and the meat of what I wanted to talk about is in this section right here. So I will start it here, and then we will get into it. Shout out to Raider Nation, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We got some good news today. It was good to hear it. So let me just give a little brief breakdown before. So like the first, I say like 10 minutes of it is not so much scripted, but and it's kind of the how do you say the answers, well, we come here to win and blah blah blah, all that blah blah blah. So once you get to the end, it's going to be more of Geno. You know what I mean? Once you run out of all the scripted answers and stuff like that, and all the dang, I'm forgetting the word right now, but just pretty much it gets to him and what he wants for this team, and what I like what he had to say, but we'll get into it.
Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review Journal. Just wondering what kind of tone you hope to come in to set with the team kind of immediately as you start to take over the helmet, quarterback.
Yeah, hardworking. It's about us going out there and earning every single thing, and I want all of us to believe that we got to go and earn it. And I'm going to be the guy that's going to give every single thing that I got, and that's every single day. I'm never going to let up. I'm going to do whatever it takes to go out there and win. It's important that my teammates see that, and they see that in me. And I want.
Sorry, the word I was looking for was cliche. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, all the cliche answers, the team building stuff and all that. But, I just kind of, as you get towards the end of the press conferences, it's more of their personality, more natural, more, kind of all the scripted and cliche stuff's out the window. So you get to hear kind of how they're, what they think. So thank you.
I want them to be inspired by that. So the work starts now. I'm looking forward to it, and it's really going to be exciting.
Kind of along those lines, what do you want to get out of the next couple of months here in terms of continuing to build those relationships with guys like Jacoby and Brock? What do you hope to accomplish by the time this regular season comes?
Yeah, just get closer to my teammates. Really learn the name of everybody in the building, get to know every single person in this building, and get to know my teammates, get acclimated with the weather here, get acclimated with the city, find myself here and really just start to build it, the way that we will see it.
You went 7 years without much opportunities on the field, but then these last 3 years now have a team wanting to trade for you, wanting to compensate you as you deserve. How does that feel? And also, Max Crosby has spoken greatly about you. How excited are you to play next week?
Yes, the thing that we're here to celebrate is the chance to go out there and win. I've always felt that the belief in myself is always going to be greater than the belief that anyone else can have for me, and I've always had that. And so being a part of this here, very, very excited and very grateful for the opportunity, but the work is what matters the most, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Max is a guy who I've played against, who has been a perennial All-Pro, but the thing that I love about him is he plays the entire game. He plays hard the entire game, and that's something that is rare in this league, and that's something that, when you look at a guy who's a leader on defense, if he can do it, everyone else can try and do that, and everyone else can strive to be like Max. And so I want to do the same thing. I want to be like Max. I want to, play hard the entire game and leave it all out there on the field.
Now, I think this was the last of the cliche, but I like how Woody talked about, just about meeting the teammates, just getting to that. Basically the grind starts now, nothing. What I did talk about too the other night was I'm glad that he's getting this job opportunity early. He's not he's not having to battle between two different people, You know what I mean? He knows it's his job. Yes, it's going to be a competition, but we know that Geno is going to be the starter unless something crazy happens. But this next part is the part I wanted to get into. I played a little bit earlier of what a little extra, but this is the stuff that I wanted to kind of get into. This is the part I like.
What would you say are some differences and some similarities between your situation coming into Seattle versus your situation now coming into here? Throughout those, experiences, how would you say your attitude has just changed going to this new opportunity?
Well, I'll say just perspective. I'm a little older now. Obviously I've gained more perspective, but my mindset has never changed. It's the same thing every day, man. Go out there and compete. Go out there and win. Do what it takes to be the best. And even when I was the backup, that's how I felt. And so I think that allowed me to stay in it. And now that I get the opportunity to start, nothing changes. I'm still in my mind that same guy who had to fight, scratch and claw for the opportunity, and that'll never leave me.
Resigned with Seattle.
Now, one thing I did want to talk about, what it takes to win. Doing what it takes to win. What does that mean? On 3rd and 7, using your legs if nothing's open, just so it's not a dead play. Doing what it takes. Extending the play just a little longer so your guy can get open. Doing what it takes. Have we had a quarterback that understood that the last 10 years? I think we did it at a certain point, but after a while, it seemed like we didn't have that killer instinct where we knew what it took to finish games, to finish. You have to have a running game to finish. You have to be able to run the ball to finish. It's impossible to finish out games if you can't run the ball, unless you're Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady that can pass their way out of anything. But, for the most part, you need a running game. So our quarterback upgraded, but at the same time, we need our running game to upgrade too. Do what's necessary.
You were going to be a backup. Did you ever resign yourself to the fact that was going to be your life in the NFL? And if not, what was the end game for you? Did you have a vision that there was going to be more?
Yeah, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I knew an opportunity would come if I just continued to work hard and continue to believe. And right before Coach called me and said, "Hey, we want to give you the opportunity to start. You got to go compete for it," I was already saying I'm going to take someone's job somewhere. And again, not in a cocky or arrogant way, but I just feel that I'm one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm out to go out there and prove it. I want to prove it to my teammates every day. I want to prove it to the organization every day. And then when the product goes out there on Sunday, I want to make sure that I'm one of the best.
So basically, Geno just took AOC's job. And I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? And shout to the people, man, that have been on that train of, getting better and that have said about us settling for mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? I just, I liked AOC. I liked the kid. I would have loved to see more, but I also want to win right now. So, Geno, I think, gives us a great chance. And then even having Aiden still in the building, just in case anything goes wrong, I think we're good. So, it's I'm glad to see the confidence. I kind of, wish he would just kind of stick to it. Just, you got to be a little cocky. You got to be a little arrogant. You got to lie to yourself sometimes to tell yourself that you're better than you are. You know what I mean? It's mental, man. You got to keep yourself mentally in it, and they're talking to him like he's pretty much like this is his first opportunity since, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, the dude's already been back 3 years. You know what I'm saying? This is just a new team. He's still, he's got the starting job. He's got a good thing going. He's at the best organization in the world. It's a good thing. And it's funny, they're like just kind of watching him talk, and watching Pete and Spytek's kind of reactions to, they're kind of letting him do his thing, letting him, there's no really, I feel like the relationship is good. You could tell there's a good relationship because there's trust. You can see Pete is letting him go, just letting him, it's little things like that, man. You got to see, like, you could tell that they're just letting him, do his thing. They trust him. There's nothing hush, hush. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're back, guys. We are back.
You told Albert Breer that you had a meeting with Tom Brady after you joined the team. What was that like, and what's it like having him be a part of this franchise?
I got a chance to FaceTime with Tom once I was traded. It's Tom Brady. It's a guy that, I've idolized and looked up to, and I believe that he does things the right way. And I think that's something that I wanted to take from, just watching his game from afar. Then you get to meet him. I got a chance to talk to him. I went to his home and got a chance to just spend about an hour and just talk ball with him and just talk life. And you understand why he is who he is immediately. He takes everything extremely serious. He's a diligent worker and he believes in hard work. And I think we align in that way. And I want to be a sponge. I want to soak up as much knowledge as I can from him. I want to learn as much as I can from him. The greatest quarterback to play the game. I mean, there's so many things that you can learn. And I think the main thing is that I'm here to win and I'm here to do the right things for my teammates, just as he did.
Mark, Zeke, Adam, and Harry.
John, where does that fit into your overall plans as far as building this franchise?
Well, we talked when we Pete and I got these jobs about every avenue we could explore to find a quarterback we would do, and to have one that's as accredited as him, I love. We were just talking upstairs his journey, the adversity he's been through. It's going to be a great resource to our players in this organization. I mean, he's kind of seen the worst. He's been through it. He's come out the other side.
You know why that's important? Saying that he's been through, the ups and downs and, this, having to fight, all this kind of stuff. Welcome to the Raiders. All that know, everything we've had to go through as an organization, as, like the last 20-something years, just everything that has to do with going, it looks good and all that kind of stuff, but it's rough, man. So I think they're telling him, you got the right, or they're telling us that we got the right person. We got someone that's not afraid to do the hard work and not afraid to make it happen. Not afraid to get it from the mud.
And, we expect him to do all the things a quarterback does, throw the ball really well, he can do, and then, be a great leader for us too. So, you have a few guys on each roster that set the direction of your team. And, I know Geno's up for that task. So that's why Pete and I are so thrilled to have him here.
Geno, you're entering season 12, I believe. You've been a starter, you've been back up. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned overall?
The biggest lesson I've learned is to stay consistent and to keep your head down and you work. I've, figured out how to eliminate outside noise. I realized that in this business, this is the big leagues and there's a lot of talk that goes on, but I understand that the work is what matters the most and what you actually do is what matters the most. And so I know we're here doing a lot of talking today, but, I'm really about just like Marshawn said, I'm about that action.
Like that's one of the things when we hear these as Raider fans. I know, if I'm wrong, if I'm lying, I'm flying. We've heard all the talk of this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna change the culture. We're gonna, be lethal and brutal on defense, relentless. What was it? We're gonna stealing people's, taking hearts. We've heard it all. We've heard all the catchphrases, all the, and it's time for action. It's like I feel like when I look at Pete Carroll right here, I feel like they know something that we don't know, and it's a good thing. There's a confidence, a radiance, a silent confidence You know what I'm saying? Like you can see, because I mean, just like you can see fear on someone's face, you can see confidence in someone's face too. You know, like as I pause this video, like the look on each of their faces is like, we know something special is about to happen this year. If only they knew. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe I'm getting. You know, it's no more BS. You know, it's because I mean you can tell just by this, like they're done talking. They're done with the talking. They're done because you know why they're done? Because they know Raider Nation is done with the talking. We're done with the listening to the talking. We want to see it. Is it going to come this year? And you know, even if we, you know, I'm back on that playoff push, man. We gonna hit the playoffs. But what I want is just to compete, be competitive, where teams have to respect us coming in. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. That's to get back to that, where it's not like, oh, it's gonna be easy day. We play the Raiders. No, it's damn, we got them Raiders today. You know, so the talk is over.
Can you kind of talk about the collaborative process of building the roster and the way that you want to? Obviously, Geno, a big start of that, but like maybe what you had to do in Seattle to build it to where it was, and now here in Vegas, kind of compare and contrast that.
You asking me that?
The
Yeah.
collaborative process of building a roster.
I'm kind of leaning on Geno.
I think Gino was about to answer that one.
What we did was,
And then I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started
Pete's getting old, man. No, I'm playing.
the whole thing out there, looking for the right people to compete with, and to make sure that we, throughout all of the opportunities that we could face, that we would exhaust them to find the right guys. And we found some real success in the second half of the draft, in free agency, in every opportunity that we could. We tried to figure out how to make us better. And really, to do that, we had to find the right competitors, and was our focus. In Johnny and I are totally, arm in arm and figuring that out here. And we're every opportunity we've had so far, we feel like we've exhausted the best shot to get the toughest, most physical guys that love the game. It's so important too. That's more important than anything in their life, but their families. That's what we've been digging into. It's the same thing we want about it in that manner there. And so the proof is in us putting it together, but we're very clear on what it takes and what we want to get done. And that you can hear in Geno, and the sincerity and the commitment and the conviction that it takes to be a great competitor. That's what he is, and that's what we're looking for. And so I think this is a really significant day for us in that you can see how aligned we are, and the three of us are, in what it takes. And that's what this isn't new to me. It's just an extension in the opportunity to show it and prove it again here.
You know, this year no one's asking them silly ass questions, or where McDaniels came in and said, "Well, it was a fumble," and then everyone's, "Oh yeah." So it's no more hoopla. Now we get to work. But now Geno's going to get to know the roster. He's going to get to know Bowers, Jacoby. I'm confident in the draft. We're going to get some guys in there, and we will be fine. The guys are back together. Pete Carroll, Geno. He's got the full confidence of the coach. He's ready. And I'm sure he would love to wear that black and silver more than that green and blue, whatever. So.
You played against the Raiders twice in Oakland. How cool is it now being able to have the Raider Nation in your favor instead of against you? And also, you were the first quarterback to play in Allegiant Stadium with fans in the stands back in 2021 in the preseason. That stadium, you got a dome compared to Seattle, unpredictable weather. How great is that for you?
I think, when I got a chance to play against the Raiders back in Oakland, was playing against like Charles Woodson in his later in his career, Khalil Mack. They had Bruce Irvin, a guy that I know, and man, they all spoke so highly of the organization and just of the fan base and how they rally behind the team. Being on the other side of it, man, it was tough. They always made it tough on me. You see the costumes and, the spike shoulder pads. I mean, just all the things that when you think about the Raiders, man, that's what you see. And to have that on our side now, I think is going to be special for us to go out there and compete and get the fans riled up and bring that energy and that juice to the stadium. It's going to be so important and so fun. And yeah, I was here with Coach Carroll actually when we played in the preseason, and it was pretty rowdy then, even though it was a preseason game. So I'm really looking forward to the fan base and just having them on our side and going out there and winning games.
Am I tripping for thinking like this dude was playing with Charles Woodson at one time? That is wild. That is wild. But, that was actually pretty cool, though, for him to get that experience. And then I did not know that he was the first quarterback to, play in the stadium. Yeah. With the fans in the excuse me, guys, with the fans in the crowd. That was wild. That was cool. We got a good sample of who, Geno was. Definitely excited to see what he brings to the table, man. To be honest, I appreciate it. But I just wanted to pop on here and give you guys a reaction to that one. I will be, doing some more videos coming up this week too. I just definitely wanted to react to that. I might do another one maybe for the first half, but I just wanted to give you the second half because I just like the genuineness of once you get all the, the blah, blah, blah out, the introduction stuff and all that, you start get to, when they're asking you questions, just trying to see who you are. And it's just, I like players that they don't dance around. They stay focused. It's all about winning. That stuff doesn't matter. I'm just here to win. That's the stuff I like to hear. Just here to win. We don't get sidetracked. We don't let the media get us all sidetracked. We're just there to win. Straight to the basics, straight to it. But yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. I wanted to. There was something else. What was it? There was something else, but oh well. There'll be another video for another day. We will have some stuff going on. I'm pretty sure there'll be some more press conferences and everything going on. So we'll see what's going on. But I like what I heard. I'm very motivated. I'm actually looking forward to this season. Even though all the pieces aren't in place yet, we at least got one important piece in place. Quarterback position is no longer a question. So I really wonder. I think that's what I was going to talk about. I really wonder. I'm gonna leave you with that thought too. Do we really need to spend on a quarterback this year? I mean, would it be cool? Yes. But is that a waste of a pick? If we're banking on someone that's not on the team yet, but then we're not going to use that pick to build around the player that is on the team. So like I said, I'm going to let you ponder that. And then the next show, we're going to talk about that because that's the next step. We are days away from college players' lives changing for the better, becoming Raiders. There's no better. But yeah, should we? I'm pretty sure we are going to get a quarterback in some form, but should we just build up, stack up, weapon up for this coming season? Oh no, you tell me. Peace out, nation.
Yeah.